Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to call the September 18th meeting of the Common Council to order. I will ask our clerk to call the roll to determine a quorum.
Alderperson Singstack.
Here.
Vitale.
Excused.
Weigel.
Here.
Barzak.
Excused.
Chaplesky.
Here.
Lysick.
Here.
May.
Here.
Probst.
Here.
Reinke.
Excused.
Rote.
Here.
7 present, 3 excused.
We have a quorum. Alderman Sangstock will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Fine. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have 2 items for public hearing this evening, and we are going to take them together, so I'll ask the clerk to read.
A hearing on an ordinance to amend Section 12.40 Sub 2 of the Revised Municipal Code to permit collocation, attachment of telecommunication equipment to existing structures within the Central Business District as a special use, and a hearing on a special use permit for proposed cell antennas and associated equipment to be located at 7400 West Greenfield Avenue.
Mr. Stiebel.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In the city's zoning code, C2 and above, it permits cellular towers. The downtown area, the C1 district, is silent on that issue, and the purpose of the public hearing here today is to amend the ordinance to allow cell towers in the downtown area. Interestingly enough, on the Park Place building, their cell towers already exist, but they were installed in 1995, before the ordinance was established. And now they want to modify those. So we want to do 2 things today. One is amend the ordinance to allow cell towers in the downtown area, and then 2, to grant a special use for the Park Place building to take 3 of their existing cell towers and upgrade them to the G4 service. And that's the public hearing that's the purpose of the public hearing for the second. The cell towers are rather innocuous, as you can tell from these pictures here. These vertical stripes here are actually the cell towers on that building, and they're very well integrated, and so they're very non-visible to the public. The Plan Commission will be taking up this issue next week, so we'd like to recommend that you approve the proposed ordinance that we have today and the resolution subject to the Plan Commission approval. If you have any additional questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Thank you, Mr. Stiebel. Do we have any questions from the council on these 2 items?
Mr. Mayor?
Alderman Weigel.
John, so when we're talking about allowing towers, we're not talking about building independent freestanding towers like people associate with, TV or radio. We're talking about essentially hanging these antennas on existing buildings. That's what this is about.
Yes, it's just for cell towers. Sometimes they are put on their own poles, but that's the purpose of them being a special use, is that we can modify the look of that so they're not obnoxious to the visible public.
So if someone wanted to build one of these independent poles, that would still be a special use and require a public hearing and review by this body.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Weigel. Are there any other questions from the council? Seeing none, is there anybody in the audience with questions or comments on these items? Okay, seeing none, we will close our public hearings and we will move on to item E on your agendas, citizen participation. It's an opportunity for residents to address the council on matters of interest to them. We ask that you limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes. Is there anybody who wishes to participate under citizen participation this evening? If you could sign in on the podium to your right and speak at the left. And your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Alex Lux, and I live at 3414 South 119th Street. And I wrote a little address here that I wanted to read to all of you. Fellow citizens of West Dallas, as the new prospective chairperson of the city's Youth Commission, I felt it necessary to address and introduce an upcoming campaign, which I felt would be an excellent task for the commission this term. A growing disconnection and disassociation of the people from their government threatens to dismantle the credibility of our democratic system. Consistently in our history, a growing number of Americans have disregarded their civic duties by either not voting or failing to make informed decisions on candidates and legislation. A collaboration of the influences of nepotism and clever advertisement schemes have corrupted the American decision-making process in the electorate and have blurred the distinction between addressing true problems and solutions and just pure dramatic rhetoric. We simply lack the honest conversation between elected officials and their constituents for the fact that the latter fails to take interest in some of the key issues our country faces today. However, this election cycle has the potential to see change. I propose for the Youth Commission to undertake a campaign to promote civic involvement and enthusiasm. A program geared toward greater civic education in our elementary schools is a perfect opportunity to not only shape a future of dedicated voters for our nation, but for our city as well. I lost my spot. Giving the students the knowledge to make their individual choices on who to vote for will encourage the youth to begin having intellectual discussions on candidates and worldly issues at a younger age. I see this as our duty to the Constitution and our treasured form of government to inspire our youth to drive forward into a future of American patriotism and civic responsibility. I look forward to working on this program with such valued educators as Alderman Probst, who has personally dedicated years of service to civic education at Nathan Hale, to continue to make this an exceptional program to carry on in the future. West Allis is a city I believe in. I believe it has the potential to make great change. Let us show the nation that our true potential lies in the expression of our innovation and creative solutions to problems. I look forward to sharing more details as they unfold with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anybody else that wishes to address the council under citizen participation this evening? Okay, seeing none, we will close citizen participation and move on to item F. Our standing committee meetings will be held during recess. The room numbers are on page 1. Moving on to item G, miscellaneous business. I just have one thing under the mayor's report. Coming up on Saturday, September 29th at Veterans Park, there is going to be the first annual Community Literacy Day, which is going to be a free book giveaway. And it goes from 1 o'clock until 4 o'clock. There are thousands of brand new first edition books from preschool to young adult. One of our residents, Suzette Grisham, she applied for a grant and got the grant. So we're going to have a big community event. There's going to be face painting. Cat in the Hat will be there. SpongeBob will be there. And there's going to be create your own bookmark. There's going to be read with me story time. And lots of books to give away to children in our community. Again, that's the 29th of September at Veterans Park, which is at 70th and National from 1 o'clock until 4 o'clock. It's sponsored by students at Frank Lloyd Wright, Haley Grisham Kirch, and Morgan Peters, as well as Girl Scout Troop 1295. That concludes the mayor's report. Do we have any alderperson's comments this evening?
Mayor Devine?
Alderman Probst?
A couple things. One, Alderman Weigel and myself have been holding listening sessions for residents and business owners in the 2nd District. We do not have a meeting scheduled for October, but we have our next meeting scheduled for November 8th at the Constitution Room at the library. And just a quick note about Forks and Corks this past Friday night. It was an excellent opportunity to get out and see some of the great businesses that we have here in West Allis and in the surrounding areas, as well as meet some people that live around our great city. And it was a really nice time. I hope you guys had a chance to come out and see it.
Thank you. Any other alderperson's comments this evening?
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Lysak.
Madam Clerk, are there any additions or corrections to tonight's agenda?
There are no changes.
I then move approval of the agenda as submitted.
Second. There's a motion and a second by Alderman May. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Lysak.
I would move for approval of the Common Council minutes of the Common Council regular meeting of September 4th, 2012.
Second.
There's a motion with a second by Alderman Probst. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'll move on to item J, items not referred to committee. I will seek a motion placing items 3, 4, 5, and 6 on file and referring 7 through 9 to the city attorney.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman May, second by Alderman Weigel. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Administration and Finance Committee,
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Sengstock.
We have one item this evening, number 10 on the agenda, and that is the acting controller manager of the finance submitting the City of West Dallas comprehensive annual financial report for the year ending December 31, 2011, signed by all 4 members of the committee in attendance, Alderman Vitelli being excused. Mayor Devine has so moved.
Second.
There's a motion with a second by Alderman Weigel. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
That is all, Mayor Devine.
Thank you, Alderman. Move on to item L, a motion for reconsideration.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Chaplesky.
I'd like to make a motion that number 11, a motion for reconsideration of number 11 and referral back to the committee.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second by Alderman Weigel. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Lysick.
I move that we stand in recess until conclusion of the committee meetings.
Second.
There's a motion with a second by Alderman Sengstock. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are in recess.